Okay, thank you very much. Greetings, our viewers and listeners. Today, welcome to Studio 84 here on Lithuli Avenue in Bugolobi, Kampala, Uganda. Today, I have a gentleman that has many titles. The people who met him most recently, he goes by the title director. I don't know if he has embraced it. Grace Munyirwa. Grace Munyirwa, many people call him Director Grace. Depending on which space you've known him at, he's a household name in the medical supplies and pharmaceutical industry in this city. He has a long story. What interests me most today is he has a book, Destroying Debt. If you are smart, you don't need it. If you're dumb, you shouldn't be using it. We are going to delve shallow, not deep, because we don't have time. We have only 30 minutes, the Director Grace. Okay. So I know Director Grace from a church community. It's called BLN, Business Leaders Network. It's affiliated to Worship Harvest. It's a community of business leaders in Worship Harvest. And from the time I met him, we've bonded and done many things. Yeah. Director Grace, please introduce yourself. You're welcome to Studio 84. You'll give us feedback at the end of the session on how you like this space. Introduce yourself to your viewers and listeners.
Okay, my name is Grace Munyirwa. I am a businessman and have been doing business for how many years? 25, 27. Wow. 27 years now. I just love business and I love teaching what I'm learning.
Yes.
And teaching out of the mistakes that I've made.
Yes.
So I think that the generation that is coming next should do a better job than we've done so that they don't repeat the mistakes that we've made in the past.
Yes.
That I've evolved into. Yes. I didn't think I would teach. Yes. I never thought I would actually teach. Yes. I actually despised teaching. I never liked anything to do with teaching, but here I am. Yeah.
I have to interrupt because I think at this point my producer is shocked because we haven't hosted anyone here who has used strong words like despise. I told you this man has no sugar added to him. He gives it directly the way it is. Director Grace, I have to ask you, did you study business? I like to know people's backgrounds because the people who find me in my element may be mistaken. So I like to know people's backgrounds. How did you end up in business and particularly the business that you do and teaching eventually?
I did business, but then I would fail. And for whatever I failed, I then studied and then corrected that which I failed at. So I first did and then studied and then corrected. And over time, I studied a lot. And first maybe I failed a lot that I studied a lot. So whatever I failed at, I studied.
You studied.
Then I taught. So I had the practical angle, then I had the theory angle. Yes. Then, and a correction angle, maybe, if you may put it that way.
So, many people who have done masters and doctorates will testify that many of their teachers, especially in business school, are not even running a kiosk.
Correct.
So when you are teaching, you're teaching from an informed angle. You have been there, you've been in the trenches, you know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I assume, hence this little, small, but healthy and rich book.
Yeah.
Where did you find debt? And director, of all the things you have been through, of all the failures, why debt?
I was not born with debt.
That's a true story. We're all born free.
I did business and I grew business. And by the way, the business grew without debt.
Yes.
Okay. Then I was introduced to debt.
Yes.
Because the bank told me, you see, you needed to bridge your cash flows.
You qualify.
Yeah. So I was sucked into debt, but I had the discipline before
Yeah.
I entered debt.
Yeah.
So whatever I couldn't pay for by cash, I didn't buy.
Yes.
So if I didn't have the cash, then I didn't buy. They told me, no. You're stifling your growth
Progress.
opportunities.
Yes.
And your potential is bigger than what you can.
Yes.
I remember fast forward, if I may first jump, there's a time I was asking, I think, for maybe about 200 million. And the guy did an analysis and said, no, you can actually get 650.
Wow.
So your dreams, you're dreaming small. Looking at your turnover, we are able to give you 650.
I could hold you to that statement because you tell us to dream big all the time.
Yeah, so if we go back, the debt story began small.
Yeah.
Okay. Debt, you see, the deception with debt is this. You think you're going to have a short-term relationship with debt. You'll get in, and within 3 months, you'll be able to pay it back and get out. And I hear you, and it's a justifiable, it's a noble cause, saying, you know what, I want to buy a car, and it's going to cost me maybe, say, 30 million shillings. I have 20, so let me borrow 10.
Yes.
Within 10 months, I'll pay back the 10.
Yes.
And I'll be done.
Yes.
And I understand people who have been in debt for 20 years.
Yes.
But me, you look at me here.
You see me here.
See me here. I'll
be
only
out
in
in
debt
10
in
months.
10 months. Okay? I can guarantee you 2 things about almost everyone who is in debt. One, they've had a relationship with debt longer than they assumed they would.
Yes.
So even the one who got a car of 30 million and said they would pay back in 2 years, after those 2 years, they needed to buy another car.
Yes.
And got another loan. 16 years later, they have a relationship with the bank. And second aspect of almost all debt is that what began as 30 million now is a 150 million.
Yes.
So they said they would buy a car of 30 million and pay it back in 2 years. Now they bought a car of 150 million shillings and hoping to pay it back in 5 years. So the relationship is longer, the debt is bigger.
Yes.
But they can swear at the beginning of the relationship that this will be a small amount and a short time. None of those 2 assumptions held the test of time.
And I will ask the question.
Yeah.
Why is it like that? What is it?
It's like that. Very simple. I say debt works. Okay. Debt works and works until it doesn't work. And let me explain to you.
Yes.
Let's take the example of that car of 30 million.
Yes.
So you say, you know what? My car is giving me a hard time. The traffic police has just harassed me. They've given me penalties. I'm done. It breaks down every week. And the mechanic is overcharging me. So I need a car. And I want to be modest. I don't want an expensive car.
No.
I want a car, 30 million shillings.
I don't want to go deep in debt.
Yes. I understand the dangers of debt.
Yes.
And people like you who are in debt, I don't want to be like you. Okay. So you sign the papers for 30 million.
Yes.
With the view that you'll pay back this in 2 years.
Yes.
So each year you're paying back probably maybe, let's say,
1.2.
about 1 point, maybe 1.5. Okay, for 2 years.
Okay, with interest, yes.
Yeah, with interest. So it's about 1.5 for the next 2 years. Now, what happens is that at the end of those 2 years,
Yes.
you pay it back,
Yes.
actually. So the evidence is there. You took 30, you paid it back.
Yes. I am a diligent steward.
Yes.
Yes.
So you say, and over years, your family expands, and you put on weight,
Yes.
and your wife also puts on weight.
Yes.
So what was a small car, now you need
Now
a
needs
bigger.
a bigger car.
So you say, this car that was worth 30 million, maybe is worth now 12 million.
Yes.
So if I got 45 million and added on this 12 million
Yes.
to make 57 million, I can get a car of 60 and negotiate to 57.
Yes.
Since I paid back the other one in 2 years, I will pay back this one also in 2 years.
Yes.
You take on that
Yes.
45. You pay it back in 2 years. Maybe with a bit of turbulence here, you pay back maybe in 2 years, 4 months. You generate a good
Steward
client.
of debt.
Then your wife says, I may also need
A car. Because you can't
Yeah.
be the one buying cars
correct.
every 2 years.
Now you're at work, you took the car, now who will pick the children? Now you have 2 children in 2 different schools.
Oh,
So she has to run across town, pick one, run the other side, pick one.
another.
After you've had a few fights, I told you to bring back the car, you didn't bring back. I told you to pick the children, you forgot
Like,
to
you
pick
know
the
what?
children.
Peace is everything.
Say,
Choose peace.
you know
any
what?
day.
Wife. Happy wife,
Happy life.
life. You say, I don't want to go into debt. Get a small car.
Yeah.
Not more than 20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Small
not more
car
than
for
20.
school runs.
Now, you have paid this 45. Maybe it's at about now 40. Now you add on 20. Now it's 65.
Oh,
The installment is bigger.
Yeah.
Now probably about 2.5. So you begin struggling.
the struggle starts.
Then eventually, you pay it off. Now, you get debt for 2 cars.
Oh,
For yourself, and now for your wife.
yes.
When you do that, you pay, you struggle, you pay, you struggle, you quarrel, pay. Until maybe you're laid off. And you're unable to pay.
That's when it gets interesting.
Then now, that's when it gets interesting. That's when you realize the car that you bought actually at 45, you can only get maybe 15. And the bank needs maybe a balance of maybe 30
Yes.
or 28. And whatever worked seems not to work at this moment.
Wow.
Now, the other thing with debt is this. There's a lifestyle that, okay, maybe let me attack it this way. We all think we are rational. Okay? We all think we are in charge of our faculties.
Yes.
But we are not. I'll give you an example. If you go to the ATM, you have an ATM card.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I am not a prophet by any chance, but I'll guarantee you one thing. If you go to the ATM, and let's say you expect to have 500,000 there, okay? And you want to withdraw 150.
Yes.
Say, you know what, let me put in fuel or 50,
Yeah.
remain with 100,000.
Yeah.
I will manage the whole week like this.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'll put in 50, remain with 100,000. I'll keep like this the whole week. So that's good. Anyone who calls me for anything, the answer is no. Okay. Wedding meeting, whatever, let them get married. They're on their own. I'm not going to contribute. So you go, put in the card, and it shows options.
Yes.
Now it's showing you can withdraw 2 million shillings. Say, hey, how come? Let me check the balance.
Exactly.
Okay?
You don't just withdraw to you first.
You say,
let
no,
me
no.
see what
First
happens.
cancel the transaction. Okay? Cancel the transaction.
More
Put
options.
in again. Say, what's the balance? Then you check 9.8 million shillings.
Oh.
Okay? You tell yourself, now my car needs full tank.
Yeah.
You see, and you see that behind tire?
Yes.
It has been giving me a hard time.
Yes.
I need to replace it. My wife has been quarreling over her hair. Let me give her money for hair and her nails. Okay? And by the way, now, next week, should I come back again to the ATM?
I know.
Let me totally get 2 million.
Yes.
See? So that I
To
finish
keep me
all-
running,
Yeah.
yes.
The good thing is I've left 7.
It's still a lot
Still
more
a
than
lot,
I even
exactly.
expected.
So I am
to have.
good.
Yes.
I've left 7. So I'm a good person. You forget that you have actually taken 2 million. You wanted 150, you've taken about how many times? Maybe about 12 times, maybe 13 times
Yes.
what you should have taken.
Yes.
What does that show you? You don't have discipline. You are an indisciplined person. Let me tell you, Solomon, the other thing I found out. In almost every case of a person in debt, myself inclusive, and other people I talk to, they will tell you this. If they are close to you, they'll tell you, I went to the bank. I got 100 million shillings from the bank. I am going to import cosmetics.
Yes.
So I'm going to import lotions, sprays, perfumes, and all this.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
So all this 100 million shillings is going to go into stock.
Business. Yes.
Yes. The day the money lands on the bank account, they first get 5 and send to their mother. Okay. They get 2, give the wife to replace the curtains and bed sheets. They get 1, repaint the office. And for their own pleasure, they also get 1 and
First put it on the
yeah,
market.
or 2 and buy a phone. So potentially, what has remained for the business is anywhere below 100.
Yes.
So, first, it shows you have bad manners. Now, you're going to deploy, say, 85 or 82. The bank needs you to pay back 125,
Yes.
but you're deploying 80
To pay back
to make 125.
Yes.
So, with your original margins and markups you made to the bank, you're going to make exactly 100
Yes.
because you invested 80. So, you will always be behind.
Yes. For lack of discipline.
Correct. So, what ends up happening is this. I told you I'm not a prophet. But when you ask for 3 years to pay back this money, in year 2, you ask for a top-up.
In year 2, you realize the math is not mathing.
Correct. Because you are unable to make the 125 you need to pay back.
Yes.
So now you've made 100. The money, capital is faithful.
Yes.
Okay?
It
It's
gives you
faithful.
what you put in.
It will give you what exactly you
You reap what you
deployed.
sow, yes.
Because you are supposed to deploy 100 to get 125. So when you deploy 80, you exactly get 100.
Yes.
So you'll have a shortfall of 25. So when you have a shortfall of 25, you'll ask the bank for another 100. So they say, oh, you have a balance of 25? Yeah. So now let's give you 75. You go back to the other 100. Now, you have worse. Now you have 75. The other time you had 100.
Yes.
So what ends up happening? You knock off the 5. Now you deploy 70. Because your habits haven't changed.
No, the habits haven't changed.
Aha.
But the money has changed.
Correct.
And the more the money,
No. The less the money, the habits haven't changed.
yes.
Yeah. So now, the bank gave you 75 or 70. You chopped 10. You deployed 60. To make 100, it won't. Until a time when the bank just tells you, Solomon, bad manners, we want our money today.
Now, Director, unfortunately, you leave me with more questions. Because earlier I wanted to ask that whenever you talk about debt, someone will even tell you, ne America bajibanja.
No problem.
How shall we grow? Now, which ties into the next one. I'm glad you raised the issue of discipline. So, shouldn't we instead attack the discipline rather than avoid debt altogether?
You know, the subtitle of this book is
If you are smart.
You choose where
Yes.
you lie.
Yes, yes.
If you're smart, you don't need it. If you're dumb, you shouldn't be using it. I'm not going to judge where you fall,
Yes.
but you choose.
It's up to you.
It's up to you.
Don't say I didn't tell you.
No, it's up to you. When you look at yourself in the mirror tells you something. Do you abuse the mirror and say, why is my nose big?
No, it tells you what it sees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what a mirror demands a response. When you look at yourself in the mirror, then you adjust and then do like this and then say, now. You don't say, mirror, change.
I've understood.
You don't reposition the mirror.
I have
You
understood.
reposition
Yourself.
Yes.
Because it is what it is.
Correct.
So adjust yourself. Decide whether you need it.
You can begin
don't
dumb.
need it.
And the point is, you have to accept that you are dumb.
That's a good first step.
Correct.
The diagnosis.
Correct.
Yes.
Self-awareness is number one tool.
It's key.
Yeah.
Wow, director. Now, without diving too much into the book, I really don't want to, because people have to buy this book. It's a fairly small book. It can be a handbook.
Many people don't read the books. Yeah.
There's no reason not to read this book, director.
Exactly.
It is really, really, really.
If I made it
small,
bigger than
65
this,
pages.
I would have excuses.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a smart move. It's wow. It's the smallest book and with so much wisdom. But director, I'm trying to find a way around this debt thing because it's touchy. Many people, when they want to get in business or scale or whatever, they always say, twagala chintu chimu bwe kiti, sente. We need money to scale. We need money to start a business. That's what everyone will say. But money most likely comes as debt. What other things, apart from debt, do young people need to start businesses before money or debt? Or what other things make businesses fail? What things make people fail? There's discipline, first of all. Yes.
First of all, many people shouldn't be in business.
Oh, it's not for everyone.
No. You should be working for someone else. Yeah. And if you're supposed to be working for someone else, be faithful, go and work for someone else. Masquerading as a businessman, okay, I would say is sinful. You see, business on its own is hard.
Yes.
Okay? If you don't have that entrepreneurial itch, just because you felt, sometimes we think, that place, there can be a good restaurant there, and a restaurant opens there, and people are there. You think you're a business person. No. You're just good at guessing. It's just like guessing this football pitch, this football match, this one will win. You don't become a ref. Neither do you become a coach. Because you guessed right who will win. Don't think that now I a coach. Nah. Business, I believe, is hard. You're not a business person until your wife thinks you're cuckoos.
Did you just add the wife on the checklist?
No, I am with you people, so I'm comfortable. The wives are the other side, they can't.
May the wives not watch this part of the podcast.
This one we shall black it out.
The producer will beep on that one.
But if your wife has not thought, you know what, you've lost it,
yes,
then you're not called for business. Business is a calling.
Yes.
That you just love to make sure that your product reaches as many people as possible. And sometimes you do very foolish things to make sure that you serve the customers. Now, you're doing so many foolish things. Don't add on one more foolish thing over it. You see, with business, you know very well.
Yes.
You can undercost this thing.
Yes.
And instead of charging someone, say 500,000, you say, okay, he has 300. Okay, you give him. But really, you sold at a loss.
Yes.
But you're saying, when he uses the product, he will realize the product is so good and he'll come back.
Yes.
Foolish.
He doesn't.
Okay, already you're doing something foolish.
Yes.
Okay, so you have like 6 foolish things you're doing. Okay, now you add on
a seventh.
Who bewitched you?
Director, I am not sure.
Someone must have bewitched you.
Do we have the resilience to continue this conversation, Director? Because there's a bit of violence coming through. Director, not everyone must be in business. So how do you discern that you're cut out for business or you're cut? Some people, it's easy.
Let me tell you, not every itch needs to be scratched. Okay? Not every itch needs to be scratched. I don't remember who said this, but someone said that a dream is not that which you see when you sleep. A dream is that which doesn't allow you to sleep.
Wow.
What is that that gets a hold of you?
And doesn't leave.
And doesn't, you just imagine, no, I see a crowd, I see a building, I see Paul be happy. And I have tried to take off this thing off my head. It has refused.
Yeah.
I can't. It gets a hold of you and can't leave you. And whoever talks in that language excites you.
Wow.
You feel like they're speaking your language.
Yes.
There's a way you feel them. You start seeing and identifying and admiring those people who have made it.
Yes.
And guess what? You stop laughing at the people who have failed. You have a deep sense of awe and respect for them.
And understanding.
Yeah.
Yes.
And feeling their pain.
Yes.
Yeah. You're a fool if you laugh at a business person who has failed.
You're a fool.
With a capital F.
You're a fool if you laugh at a business person who has failed. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like in my language, there's a saying that a young person cannot laugh at a lame person because you don't know what's coming. Director, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
What would be your? Hey, you've really left me with more questions than answers, but we'll definitely be back and have this conversation. Business. You've been in business for a very long time. Give us just 3 to 5 common mistakes.
My phone, the name on my phone.
Yes.
If you search for the name of my phone,
Yes.
it is business money is not your money.
Wow.
If you can leave business money
Alone. You're almost halfway there.
you're 90% there. The entrepreneur is thief number one.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're the number one thief to your own business.
correct. In fact, when many people do an analysis, sometimes jokingly, they do earnings, they do, so when you do revenue and expenses and then they get earnings. So there's a term, EBITDA, sometimes it's EBIT. Sometimes it is EBOT.
Yes.
Earnings before owner theft. Okay. So in other words,
Hey.
yeah,
And now we're not ready.
earnings before owner theft. So what we do, we take the business and then look at it before you stole the money.
Yes.
And then say, oh, this business made 100 million. So expenses were 35 million. Then this guy stole the rest. Okay, let's look at it and stop there. Yeah. We can always add back all
This
this
business
ownership.
works.
This
Only
business works
if it didn't
if
have
we
an
only
owner.
remove this guy. So, business money is not your money.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, if you look at business in the long term, okay, in the long term, then it helps. There are so many things that can bring you money today. Okay. So today you could get something that gives you a deal that gets you 5 million or 10 million or 50 million. Okay. But is it sustainable? Will it be able to give you money in 10, 25 years from now?
Yes.
Maybe no.
No.
So if we can look at it from the long term and say, if I'm stealing this money, 25 years down the road, what will this business look like? whatever it is, because the traps are normally so short term. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, fine. Long term, what will happen?
Yes.
Number 3. Recently, I'm discovering there's a secret in partnerships, in working together, in having both of us say, what can you do? What can I do? What can we do
Together. Best.
together?
Yes.
There is what we can do together, and then we can face the giant out there together and take them down. You see, you'll be shocked at the collabos businesses do, the businesses that actually win.
Yes.
You find Nike working with Apple. You find Spotify working with some other company.
Yes. With
You find
record company.
exactly.
And so on, yes.
Even all these companies, actually Uber and Spotify,
Yeah.
have a now. These are big companies. They would have said, "No, we don't need you." But if Apple can work with now, how about you? How about you? So, what can they bring to the table? What can we bring to the table? Together we can. How can we find another person that we can work with? Who has access to the people that we need but don't have access to? Maybe I'll add a third one or a fourth one. Which 25 relationships do you need to actually double your money? There are not many relationships you actually need. You don't need everyone to double your money.
No, you don't.
But you need 25 relationships that you can moisturize, you can rinse, you can invest in, and your revenue will be able to double.
Wow.
You're spreading too thin, boxing,
yes,
running all over
yes.
town for burning fuel for nothing.
Director,
Yes, sir.
people have to read this book. I saw a popular bookshop that has been here for decades.
Yeah.
Closed in one of the big malls recently.
Yeah.
Where do we find it since physical bookshops are closing? Yeah, this book here, Grace Munyirwa, Destroying Debt.
That book can be found in branches of Vine Pharmaceuticals and at Worship Harvest in Aria.
Oh,
Yeah.
At Brin Cafe or in the library?
At the gift table.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Director.
My pleasure.
Do you still host? Do you still take on students for coaching?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Please share your contact because where do potential students of business who want to hear more from you?
They can contact my assistant,
Yes.
who is on 0772
772
503
503
837.
837.
Yeah.
Director, the beauty with this podcast setting is that you can pause,
Yeah.
rewind,
Uh-huh.
go to the bedroom,
Uh-huh.
pick the pen from your handbag, and write down the number.
Correct.
Unlike radio where it has gone, it has
gone. Yeah.
Very happy to have you here, Director.
My
we look
pleasure.
forward to another visit. Please give us feedback about how you find this space. We'll do big things together, hopefully, because at Studio 84, we believe that we need to take content to people where they are, on their smartphones, on their gadgets, on the move. People are busy. We appreciate that they no longer have the time to sit at a specific time and listen to traditional radio. Basically, we're trying to do things differently. But most importantly, Director Grace, is put up a platform where we build decent content that will build people and grow them, as opposed to almost full-time entertainment. We are glad you're on board with us and you visited us and shared some wisdom. So God bless you, Director. You can give us a parting shot and we close this.
I'm glad for anyone who ventures out to open a business.
Yeah.
It's a step of faith.
Yeah.
It's a shot in the dark. Such people can take on the world.
Yes.
Okay. So anyone who opens a business, I really applaud them, because it's you're betting on yourself.
Yes.
You're moving beyond. Einstein said that action is a true measure of intelligence. So action is, you tell me your IQ is 20 or 100 or 500. It is action that really measures.
yes.
That is a true measure of intelligence.
Of what use is high IQ when you have no action?
Correct.
Absolutely.
So this shows that you have a high IQ.
Thank you very much, Director Grace. Very good to have you here once again, and we'll have you back soon.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Have a good day.